This is What If Bardock Went to Earth with Kakarot. Okay, guys, this is a little bit of a weirder what if scenario, but I figured I kind of want to try something, and I hope you guys like it in whatever way, however you guys take it. But this what if is what if Bardock went to Earth with Goku? Because his Saiyan pride, yes, was telling him to fight Frieza and fight for planet Vegeta's, well-being, so it could stay a planet. But another part of him didn't, and that other part was Guinea. And so Guinea drugged one of his drinks, making Bardock be, knocked out cold, as Guinea put him in a pod with their son Kakarot, and sent that pod heading to a planet with almost one of the weakest power levels they've seen. That planet, of course, being called Earth. And so, their journey begins, and almost halfway through their journey, Bardock slowly starts to wake up, knowing the fate of his planet would already been sealed, and he can't go back to whatever rummage and rubbish and trash was left from his planet. So he sees his son in his arms as they're flying, heading towards Earth. He knows the Saiyan heritage must continue, but it's gonna be with some different creature that isn't a Saiyan, which he doesn't think is right. He thinks the Saiyan heritage should have been continued through Saiyans, but that possibility is over now. So, and then, as soon as they crash into, the fate of planet Vegeta was already sealed as the two Saiyans had arrived on Earth. This explosion was all that was left of their poor planet and their race. It was all gone. There was nothing to go home to. Bardock, of course, feeling hurt. Who even did this to him? How did he get in this pod? Then he remembers he felt weird after he drank and ate the food that Guinea gave to him before he was ready to fly and defeat or try and stop the fate of his planet being ended. So he thought, Guinea did it. I can't believe her. He got mad, but he didn't want to curse in front of his newborn-ish child, Kakarot. So, he just had to live on Earth as one of the last Saiyans left. But he remembered, his son Raditz is also alive. So, the pod was on the ground, crashed, and they had nothing to do. So Bardock collected himself, sat in the pod for a second, looked outside to see this forest-type area, and a shadowy figure was standing at the top of the crater that was made because of the pod crashing down. He tries to get a better look. It was a tall-ish man, elderly man maybe. He couldn't tell from just the shadow. So he pops the door open of the pod and gets out with his son. And his son looks with a surprised expression, kind of happy, kind of mad, kind of sad, sort of. Looks up, and the father Bardock, of course, just stands there staring at the wall, the dirt crater wall. So, Bardock just stands there as his son is looking up at the man. It was an elderly man. And the man from up top says, hello, I'm Gohan. Do you fellows need some help? And what is that thing you came out of? And Kakarot is simply just staring at the man. Sorry if I say Goku, it's habit. Staring at this man and was like, and Bardock then simply says for him, no. And if you don't get out of my way, I can easily destroy you. So please don't help to bother us ever again. And then both of the Saiyans' stomachs growled and grumbled. They were extremely hungry from that journey all the way here from planet Vegeta. So they go with the man to get some grub, hopefully. Sorry about the picture, this was the best I could find in short-term time. But so, Gohan takes the two Saiyans, or humans with mutations with a tail, or something, whatever they are, to his home. And Grandpa Gohan cooked them some nice grub. And Kakarot was very rowdy, like, he was making up a fuss, but Bardock just slapped Kakarot in the head. And Kakarot would just pout and look down and eat his food. And Bardock apologized for hitting him so hard, but he had to learn how to control his manners and be a good kid. Unfortunately, this is where I'm going to be leaving this off. Maybe 4 likes for a part 2.